It's red at youtube.com.
In the 1930s, a new religious movement was born out of Jamaica, Rastafari, and Rastafari, an advocate of the movement. He's here with us now. Good morning.
Yeah, man, blessing and love, you know, on a
Welcome
special
to Smile
morning.
Jamaica.
Special.
I said religious movement. Is Rastafari a religion?
In the full meaning of the word, yes, we can say so, but we prefer the term a way of life, since religion seems to impose itself on people, and Rastafari is a way of life that you have to live.
And that way of life is
It encompasses, as Rasta, there's no Rastaman who do not accept the divinity of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I. If you don't accept that, you're not Rasta.
So
it's like a Muslim, if you don't say Allah, you're not a
So
Muslim.
you say
A Buddhist,
Haile Selassie is
God Almighty returned upon the throne of David, as in November 2nd, 1930, when He ascended the throne with all the biblical accolades from 49 devout priests and monks, giving Him all titles, King of Kings, King of Zion, conquering Lion of Judah.
Then, as the Almighty, where Him gone?
Where is God?
Yeah.
The same thing would have asked the Christians, you know, 1975, when He actually disappeared, you know, could not be found by the armies. Then to date, there is no evidence of Haile Selassie death nor anything like that. So Rastafari say Haile Selassie has fulfilled his tenure on the throne of David, yeah, and gave up kingship, and Rastafari just continue to.
So you're saying he's not dead?
No, because there has never been any evidence, proof, whether through DNA testing or anything like that, even though they buried some unknown bones. That was not tested by any DNA expert.
So anyone who does not think that
Who
Haile
does not
Selassie
believe that He is Almighty is not Rastafari.
Is that the only rule, as it were, of the religion?
From the foundation. It's like any Christian who not profess Jesus Christ.
No,
Not a
but they have,
Christian.
I guess, other rules of their religion based on teachings in the Bible. Does
Of course,
Rastafari have-
like with dreadlocks.
Right.
Dreadlocks came about on account of a research of the scriptures, because before Christianity you had the Nazarenes, because
Right.
Christianity came after the death of Christ. So the people who walked with Christ were Nazarenes.
Right.
Yeah, so they had dreadlocks. So Rastafari took on that lifestyle, and in terms of Africa, we place of destiny, it's also prophetic, written in scriptures, you know.
What about the dreadlocks? If you're not a dreadlock, you can be a Rastafari?
There are ones who profess the divinity of Haile Selassie who don't carry dreadlocks, but to encapsulate the perfect Rastaman. You can't leave nothing out.
So,
You can't shave your beard, you can't cut
so
your
the 12
hair.
tribe of Israel, they not all are dreadlocks. So they are
No,
not,
they are not all dreadlocks.
So they are not.
They are Rastafari, but as I say, don't encapsulate all the attributes of the perfect Rastaman. Not
Nor does any other religion have a perfect follower, as it were.
Yeah.
So you have people who
Of
follow
course,
certain things and so on.
yeah.
What role does Jesus play in Rastafari?
When we look at Jesus, we don't look upon Jesus Christ just as the Messiah from a Eurocentric point of view, Michelangelo's portrayal of a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white-skinned person.
of
We look
course
upon
not.
Christ, the African Nazarene,
Right.
and knew that He was here, the Lamb, Haile Selassie today, the Lion. So it's two era. One, He came as Christ then, and today, in the person of the conquering Lion, Haile Selassie I.
Okay.
So it's an acceptance of that Yeshua, that Messiah, brought the revelation of Rastafari, being a promise made to David that Christ would sit upon David's throne, and we saw that fulfilling Haile Selassie November
And
2nd,
do you
1930.
accept the biblical prophecy that He will return once more?
Final judgment. Christ then, today, and forever. One and the same person, Haile Selassie I.
In 1958, Prince Emmanuel started the Bobo Shanti movement.
It was before, but in 58 he had a big convention down in what was called Victoria Park, is now St. William Grand Park.
Yeah.
And at that time, you know, the Rasta converged upon the city, drums and chant and...
So where does Bobo Shanti...
We can.
Police raid and mash up the
Mash up
place.
So where does Bobo Shanti fall in all of...
One of the priestly order of Rastafari, up on the hill, drums, chant, Ola Sabbath and all. So we coexist.
Yeah. You're Naya Bingi.
Naya Bingi.
So does Bobo Shanti believe in
Haile Selassie?
Yes.
Certainly.
Okay.
But your spiritual leader is Prince of
So what's the
Maryland.
difference between Nyabinghi and Bobo Shanti?
There's no difference, you know. There are some tenets, in terms of the tenets, there are some little things that are different, you know, but minor, they are petty. Bobo wrap the turban, and I being with flying locks, wear a tam, you know, Bobo all a Sabbath, them have a certain priestly order that they carry out, which is respectful of the Bingi respectful of the Bobo.
The Ethiopian Orthodox is where now in all of
Well,
this?
they are the most ancient of all Christian churches. When you talk about the man Christ and you talk about an entity, 'cause, you know, Ethiopia is the first nation on planet Earth to accept Christ as a nation, as a people from the king right through. Yeah, as in when Philip baptized the Ethiopian official in Acts, you know, it's there on record. So Ethiopia is the most ancient of Christian churches that promulgate the teachings of Christ.
Yeah.
And
that occurred how?
by the baptism of Philip, when Philip baptized the Ethiopian eunuch in the 4th century AD.
Philip being
Philip, an apostle of Christ. And he met
okay.
the Ethiopian official who went to visit the Queen of Sheba. And on his way coming, he was rejoicing, reading from the book. Then Philip approached him. Understandest thou what they read, thou readest? And he said, how can I understand unless it be interpreted to me? And from that day, the Ethiopian.
This morning we were talking about the outstanding Bob Marley and the fact that he wasn't accepted back then. Rastafari was
That's
accepted
how Rastafari
back then. What
is.
about now? What about now?
The acceptance?
Yeah, what about now?
It's still sparse. Better than the days of yesterday when the elders couldn't walk the street,
And
them have to walk
peer
in and
leaks
go
and
in,
whatnot
and
and
no landlord or rent in a place, no job market, no want you. You know, but today better off. Never will be. We'll tell you that the days when they travel with Bob and Peter, the police stop the car and call him one side and say, we are nice man like you do with them dirty Rasta in your car. So that was how Rasta is. But how the citizens of this country had treated Rasta. And we are talking about colonial and post-colonial governments, yeah? So, I mean...
Right up to
now.
Well, yeah, but in terms
In
of
a lesser-
the jailing and, you know,
Trim your
unnecessary
locks.
jailing, cutting off a man's locks,
listen.
beating a man.
Back then, they would be calling JBC and say, what kind of idiot that you know have on the program?
Yeah.
That
They might still do it,
Rasta,
but
they might.
yeah.
So we said the fight continue. The struggle.
And yet Rasta is responsible, as I was having a discussion with somebody else, for such a large part of brand Jamaica, for taking Jamaica everywhere.
Anything commercial, they will exploit us. 50th anniversary coming up, sure they're going to want to have Rasta like we are some remnants of the Tainas, indigenous culture, without any respect. Can I leave the station now and reach the first thing a police are going to ask me for? Not a gun, Rasta in a ganja pan you. So we still see that we are still up against the odds.
What about the use of herb as a sacrament?
Part of the sacrament, we want to talk to the government about that too, because how can you respect and love Rasta, Bob Marley, day to day, and the world is clamoring? You always have Kaya, got to have Kaya all the time. It's part of, there's no cultural gathering in Jamaica where ganja no smoke, you know. Ask any one of the ministers, I see many of them at the big reggae shows standing up beside a man with a big head or a big chalice or something. They know it. There's no social, political, religious gathering in Jamaica where ganja no burn. It's part of a cultural fiber. And I think that
And
when
it's
them
a
pass
plant.
law, it's a God-given plant.
So they must legalize it?
When you pass law, you must pass law with, I consider, a majority interest to say that this is the culture of your people. If you take ganja out, well, I think Chuck, the last Minister of Justice, said it's time them stop.
Yeah.
Incriminate the youngsters for just a little dry herb. We are saying, in terms of decriminalization, yes, man. Especially for Rasta who bear the grunt time.
Decriminalization or legalize is two different things.
It's two different
Well,
things.
steps
So
you
we
probably
want,
want
I want to introduce the step. Because, I mean, like in Negril, you know, them have a ganja fest there actually every year. Ganja fest. with foreigners coming with the best grade. I want to ask the government how this happened. We give them the permission. The next question
fest.
I want to ask too, where does the government get ganja from to make Kenasol and Asmasol, two byproduct? I don't hear of an established government farm. So if you don't have a government established farm, unless they keep it quiet, it means that the ganja with them take her from a bridge and them Westmoreland and so and that will be illegal.
In some US states that ganja production outstrips corn, wheat, combined,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
and they are now producing herb that is superior to our herb.
Them trying it, but there's a THC content, there's a certain meditation that go with the plant in a herb, but them can't capture yet.
But they still catch it once they burn
they're,
out.
they're
our-
trying, exactly. I have to know that the US makes so much billion per year out of ganja, and you're the same person where I give me money to kill out my little thing when me so poor,
right.
before you help me if you upgrade my thing
No,
and
man.
make my economy
No,
grow. So you're not about my future.
But they're not. That's
They
the
are
world
not.
order.
So we need our government to be realistic now, because them are patent everything, you know, ganja sweetie, ganja this, ganja shirt, ganja cologne, ganja. When we get ready, with them we down at the back of struggle, while it's our thing.
True that.
Rastafari.
True that.
Bob Marley, they continue, you know,
Yeah,
because the drums are roll up a Bob Marley Museum right now. And Bob, we have to give thanks to him, because there's no stage where him go on, where him not say greetings in the name of the Almighty I Rastafari. So we give thanks. It's a bright angel will blow a trumpet.
Yeah.
So we give thanks.
Rastafari. All right, still to come, international.
It's red at youtube.com.